We are enhancing the laptop store project from the YByte Python curriculum available at www.ybyte.in. In fact, we have done a lot of enhancements, including, let's say, making this display quite, let's say, sorted in a way that the player wants. However, nothing comes quite close to what I have on the screen. You notice here, I chose not to do any sorting, but I wanted to make it easy for my player to read. So I use Colorama module to give a different color for every brand that I'm writing. So there's two brands that are chosen, WHP, WDEL. WHP is coming in green and WDEL is coming in red. Now clearly this uses Colorama and this does enhance the readability of the whole table. But let's see how we do this. Now, first thing first, so notice by contrast, my table looks quite plain. First thing first, I must install Colorama. So, it may be a good idea to just do it from the workspace. So say Colorama. Um, it's done. Now I can get back to my code. Basically, the point is I'm going to, choose let's say the color of printing depending on the brand. Now this is just one selection. You could choose some other metric, maybe like depending on the RAM you could choose a color and so on and so forth, but I'll just do it with color. Of course, for my, let's say, code, any of this code to work, so I can import. So I'll just go up here and say import, for example, Colorama. In fact, from Colorama I'll have to import, so Colorama import, say 4, uh, 4. Yeah, that's what I want. Now, in order to move forward, I want to basically make the printing, like I said, a function of the brand. So I'll make a dictionary here. So I just say colors, for example. Again, the keys of this dictionary are going to be the brand names. So I just say, for example, W Dell, let's say, is red. Um, WHP is, for example, say green. WA is have to be careful, is, let's say, yellow. No, of course it must be one of those recognized colors in Colorama, the 4 module. Now it must be one of those recognized colors for the 4. So let's say, so WACER, let's put, for example, magenta. And I think I can put say W Lenovo. I can probably put, let's say, blue. Now, I just realized that there is a typo error here, so I'm going to fix that right away. Now let's move forward. Remember, previously we are printing the values of that laptop, every laptop, using this statement. I will need this to some extent, but not entirely this. I will have to change the color depending on the brand. So for that purpose, remember, typically we do 4.red plus, let's say, whatever we want to print, or 4 dot say green, where red, green, etc. are, let's say, attributes, and we put them in capital letters. So something like that we are going to do, but we are going to use this function called get attribute, say 4, and I'm going to have to set, get the attribute from the colors dictionary. So I'm just going to say, look, colors, say, laptop, and say brand. And remember, the colors, this 4 have to be in the uppercase, so I'll have to put this as upper. And again, this seems correct, plus laptop K, and that should do the job for me. So basically, whenever I, depending on the brand that I'm looking at, that particular color should get set. So, let's say I choose on, say, brand. I say W Dell, W Asus, W Lenovo. So I'm selecting any of these 3 brands. Remember, comma separated. So it could be any of these. 21 laptops in my preference. Let's say I don't want to, or maybe I can even sort them. So I say, well, please sort them by, say, brand. Enter D for, say, descending order, but let's just go with A. You notice I get W Asus, all of them coming in this yellow color. Then I have W Dell, and then I have W Lenovo. Now in this case, all the brands are segregated because that's how we sorted them. But it's pretty cool. It looks really nice. Take one more example. Let's say I say, well, brand. Say I choose W A Sys, W A Sir, and say WHP. Say I choose these 3 brands. So that's my criteria. 21 laptops meet my performance, meet my requirement. Let's say I say choose by price in the descending order. Now, this is also quite nice to look at because immediately by looking at color, I know all the green ones are WHP. And you will see that generally speaking, WHP laptops are generally speaking are on the higher side of price. So, it gives you some information which otherwise would be quite hard to get. So basically by all the WSs are, let's say, yellowish in color, WS are, let's say, magenta in color, and so on. Pretty cool, pretty nice. And this definitely enhances the project, right? It's useful, found this interesting. The usage of colorama and this dynamically changing color using get attribute, I think is pretty interesting. On that note, once again, building activities, thinking through them, looking at logical ways to enhance them is a great way to learn programming as we do at YByte. Look at our website www.ybyte.in. We learn Python programming through such fun activities. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.